Hi, my name is Sarita Gibbons, and I'm the owner for Comprehensive Grants Management. Comprehensive Grants Management is a grant writing firm. We work with organizations all over the country to assist them to apply for their grant applications. I'm so excited today because it's the second day of the NARO Conference, 2019 NARO Conference Connect to Purpose. And we're in Washington, D.C. And who did I run into?
Ivory Matthews.
Ivory Matthews, the Executive Director for Greenville Housing Authority in South Carolina. I've worked with Ivory for so many years, but I've never met her. I've only communicated with her by phone and by email. And finally, this conference has given us the opportunity to meet in person. So hi there.
Hi. It's such a pleasure to meet you in person.
Really?
Actually, when I saw you coming down the hall and I looked at you and I was like, Sarita. Finally.
Finally, I meet you. So thank you to agree to this interview. I can't tell you enough. It's such a pleasure to finally meet you and to be talking to you. And now I have it captured on tape. I just want to ask you a couple of questions.
Sure.
So one of the first questions I want to ask you is, how did you become to be an executive director for the Greenville Housing Authority?
Sure. You know, if you ask most executive directors of housing authorities, how do we become executive director of a housing authority, or was this something that we were passionate about? Did we, want to become a housing executive? It's probably no. Honestly, it's probably no. But truly, it is work that is contagious. I think that all of us begin, as Ms. Todman said earlier in her presentation here. She said that once we accept an opportunity to work at a housing authority, we do so thinking that it's just a job. And then we realize,
it becomes something else.
we realize that it fulfills us mentally, and it's good work, it's needed work, and then we become very passionate about it, and so that's how I landed in this role. Just really taking an opportunity for a job, and then here it is 20 years later, very passionate about it, and I only see myself doing this kind of work.
Because if you think about it, the basic needs of a human being, food, clothing, shelter, care. And so we're providing, I feel like I am too, by providing funding opportunities for housing authorities, that you're providing one of the core basic needs of a human being. That's very intimate. And then you springboard that off to other supportive services. So that's really awesome.
Absolutely. All of us are very busy, advocating. A lot of us, we have boots on the ground advocating for affordable housing. But I think what your company does for us is a niche, and it's so important because you get to help us craft our words in a way that makes the funders award those grants for us and help us continue to meet our mission. And we're just so thankful to have you filling in that niche for us. It's so, so important. All of us, there are a lot of us who probably have never met you in person, but the work that you do is so valuable, and we feel like we know you, and you are a part of our family.
Yeah, it's true. It's like a couple people like, oh my God, you're going in for a hug, and you've just seen this person for the first time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How long have you been the executive director for Greenville Housing Authority?
So I've been in Greenville for this August will be 5 years. Yeah, totally. Before arriving to Greenville, I spent about 3 years in Ohio, Toledo, Ohio, at the Lucas Metropolitan Housing Authority. There I served as a deputy executive director, and prior to that, I spent about a decade at the Housing Authority of the City of Aiken in South Carolina.
Right.
And so
that's where I met you first.
Yes.
At Aiken Housing Authority.
Yes, and so I was in Aiken is where I kind of earned my stripes, per se. Was fortunate to work for a very innovative individual.
Is that Mr. Reginald Barner?
Mr. Reginald Barner,
yes,
absolutely. Yeah, so he gave me an opportunity at the Housing Authority, so I've probably have spent time in almost every position there is at an agency, and so it's been a great a great ride, and I look forward to the next 20 years. Certainly not ready to retire anytime soon.
For the new executive directors that are coming in, what would you have to tell them? Or maybe I should ask you, what was one of the struggles you had to overcome coming in as a new executive director when you went to Greenville?
Yeah, I would say when you step in the affordable housing world, every day is different. It is a job where you get a true understanding of what affordable housing means to people in your community. You see people affected by housing for all different sorts of reasons, right? You see people who are just aging in place, and you see the importance for fighting for housing for seniors. You also see that sometimes people, because of their life situations and circumstances, they might go through a medical situation that might cause them now to need affordable housing because they can't, continue to work a full-time job anymore, so it changes their income. People going through divorces or separations, loss of a spouse, all sorts of things. And also the changes in our local economy. Many of us work in economies where our local economy depends on a particular industry, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're in the Midwest, at one time it was heavily dependent upon the automotive industry, but that has changed. So it shifts, our local needs, and so as a young professional, if you want to be in a place where you know that the work that you do really and truly makes a difference in people's lives, I would say to stick in there. Some days are very tough, and also to make sure that you have a good network of people that you can just pick up the phone and call. Right. Over the years, I've found it very important for me to just continue to network with my colleagues across the country, and other housing executives, and just other people that work in housing, period. Right. Build you a good, solid base of people that you can call on, just to talk to, mm-hmm. And also to receive advice. Right. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Thank
this
you. I got to give you a hug. Southern hospitality.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
There you have it.